Right. Good morning, Puvan. Thanks for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you with us today, and we are very eager to understand HPE security ecosystem. Welcome on board, Puvan.
Yeah, thank you, Clement, and good morning to you as well. It's a pleasure for me to join you today in this discussion.
Okay, thanks, Puvan. Puvan, we have just witnessed a live demo on Mosaic Regressor and UEFI implant. What are the security innovations from HPE to handle firmware-based attacks?
Yes, Clement, definitely. So with the Gen 10 servers HP released a couple of years ago, right, we released what we call the world's most secure industry standard service. And with that, we created an ecosystem called the secure compute lifecycle. So what we essentially do is to handle this kind of firmware attacks, we created our own silicon called the Silicon Root of Trust. The Silicon Root of Trust essentially binds all the essential firmware into the silicon of the server before the server is even built. So this particular silicon would contain all the different firmwares of all the key things like the management engine, innovation engine, and etc. So what it essentially does is it creates an anchor for the boot process that's rooted in the hardware that cannot be updated or modified in any way after the server has been built. So when we combine this feature with the cryptographically secured signature, which we call the digital fingerprint, there are no accessible gaps for hackers to exploit. So basically, if a hacker inserts a virus or a compromised code or a firmware into the server firmware, the configuration of the firmware is essentially changed. Now, this creates a mismatch to the digital fingerprint that's embedded into the silicon.
All right.
So when the server boots, when the server boots, ILO 5 validates the BIOS of the server and looks for the digital fingerprint of the ILO firmware that's burned into the chip. So this immutable fingerprint verifies all the firmware code which is valid and uncompromised. Or if the validation fails at any level, because of these attacks, the ILO 5 and the Silicon Root of Trust will not allow the server to power on. HP has a big advantage, against our competitors because we make our own silicon chip and firmware. Therefore, we are able to create that bond that cannot be broken between the two of these, unlike our competitors.
Wonderful. And I believe that cryptographic keys are somewhere hidden safely.
Yes, exactly, right? There was a recent case where Asia-based, technology company who manufactures hardware had their cryptographic key basically leaked. And the hackers were able to gain that, and they created their own firmware with all this compromised firmware, and they put in that digital fingerprint in, which allowed them to, attack a lot of systems basically. In HPE's case, this particular key is securely locked in a vault, and only 2% in the entire organization, right, that spans hundreds of thousands of people, can access that today.
Great.
So it's pretty secure.
Wonderful. May I know where is it?
It's actually in Houston, Texas.
Okay. Which address it is?
I have no idea.
No idea. Oh, wonderful. Great. Okay, Puvan, sure, indeed. ILO 5 is with lots of security bells and whistles, Puvan. So can you mention in brief about the other key technologies that you guys have put in place?
Yeah, that's definitely. So, we break this down into three pillars, right? Protect, detect, and recover, in terms of securing the firmware and the service. So in Protect, we saw one of the key features was Silicon Root of Trust. And then we have things like cryptography protection. Cryptography has three levels, right? Starting with high security, followed by FIPS. And then lastly, we have the CNSA, which is also known as the Commercial National Security Algorithm. This is the highest level of cryptographical protection. So additionally, we have things like server configuration lock, which is a pretty interesting feature, right? Where once the server has been built in the factory, we put a lock on it with the password, protected lock, basically, to secure it through the life cycle, through the transit life cycle, basically. You already have protection based on Silicon Root of Trust, but this is an additional protection, which locks the actual configuration of a server. If someone as little as unplugs, a memory or even plugs in a USB device into the server, it gets detected and locked. So when the server arrives at the location and the password is inputted to unlock the server, you get all these logs and you're able to see, the different changes that happened on the server. So essentially protecting the server during transit, right? We all know that transit is like, the most vulnerable part of the entire life cycle, because
exactly
it's in hands of people who we don't even know,
right.
Basically.
Multiple layers, supply chain kind of attacks. Perfect point.
Exactly. Other features, if I may add on, are things like TPM and secure boot. These are industry standard features, basically. Right. Moving on from there, the second pillar is detect. Right. In detect, we have both compromised firmware detection as well as physical intrusion detection. So, we saw all the features related to firmware detection earlier, right? We secure them. We also have sensors, on the lid of the server and all around the server, to detect things like physical intrusion. So if there was a physical intrusion, it is also logged in the logs. So, when someone reviews the logs, they can see that, the cover of the server was opened and things like that. So we are trying to cover all the different bases in terms of the intrusion possibilities on the server. Right. And then the last part, what I'd like to stress on the detect part is the secure validation. Right. This occurs, the scanning, right, the runtime firmware verification occurs continuously. It's not like a one-time basis where it's only checked upon when the server is booted, but this can be scheduled on a daily basis. And, to make all this easier, we have a proactive monitoring dashboard basically built into the ILO management site. So basically, when you go into the ILO's page, you're able to look at this security tab and you're able to see all these things. It shows you the risk factor. If something has happened, there's like an alert, which makes it easy for you, basically.
So from the ILO management, I believe there must be some kind of an API to stream the data to security operation centers to have a 24/7 monitoring on the boxes?
Yes, definitely. All HP servers today have capability to support REST APIs as well as Redfish, which is the industry standard. So we are able to, send information or get information, from any sources. So basically, third-party tools, that we integrate with, or can use things like ILO, REST APIs, or Redfish to pull this data and then display it or analyze it on their tool, basically.
Wonderful, Bhuvan. Bhuvan, as you know, the ability to recover from an attack is as important as protecting and detecting an attack. Our average mean time to respond is still hovering on hours to days. Can you provide some background into how HP helps customers recover from attacks like firmware-based or ransomware-based attacks?
Yeah. So let's cover the base on the firmware-based attack, right? So recover, because why HP is rated very highly is because of our ability to recover. A lot of people have protect and detect, but they miss the part on recover. So we focus a lot on that as well. So when a particular attack happens and the ILO detects this particular attack, we give the customers 3 different options they can do. The first being the ability to recover to the last known good state firmware. Basically, the last version of the firmware that was installed and validated to be good, right, which is stored in the BIOS, basically. So we allow you to recover to that. The second option being the ability to recover to the initial factory settings. So basically, you run like a full reset and you go back to the state where the server came from the factory, for you to recover. And the last one is the ability to not do anything at all, basically not to recover, so that you can take the server offline and conduct any kind of a forensic analytics, right, as well as all the logs that have been captured. To add on to all of this, we do offer professional services as well, for customers who need some, assistance or they need to do anything further than this. We do offer professional services as well.
Great one, wonderful. What makes HP different from the competition? Other than that, you guys do everything by yourself. Is there anything else?
Yes, definitely, right? I think you pointed out that factor where we make our own silicon, while all our competitors actually buy our silicon off the shelf from other vendors, and then they secure it with their solution. So they don't have the entire binding that we create with the entire server ecosystem, like what HP does. So the secure compute lifecycle is supposed to provide you cradle to grave kind of a protection across the entire lifecycle of the server. So to be sure, right, we can't have our own, greatness. So what we did, we reached out to the industry experts, and one of them happened to be, an organization called Infusion Point, who specializes in security, detection and recovery. So what we did, we sent our servers to them for to analyze, and not just running the typical industry standard testings, but to actually run real world modern threats, like the ones you see in the news every day, right? The one we spoke about earlier, and the one where there was supposedly a Chinese chip that was implanted on a server, right, and running in one of the world's largest organizations, basically. So, those kind of actual attacks. And we came out with flying colors, right? We got a glowing recommendation, and, it validated our claim to be the world's most secure service. So, if anyone, the participant would like to know more about this, I've shared a document on this, so, through the organizers, so they can read about it. And, another point is, even the FBI recommends HPE servers as the top-notch security service, so you can't get anywhere better than that, right? The FBI. And lastly, I'd like to touch upon the Marsh Cyber Catalyst designation. I know it might be alien to some people here. You might not have heard about it, but the Marsh Cyber Catalyst designation is a designation of key security products in the industry, which is then evaluated by this company called Marsh, and then they give this information out to the customer so they can make informed choices about their cyber risk. So Marsh is an industry analyst, basically in the insurance industry, where basically they analyzed all these software solutions. So they actually evaluated hundreds of solutions in two different phases in the last 18 months, basically. And they validated 32 products, 17 products in the first phase, and a further 15 products in the second phase. And out of these 32 products, HPE has 3 listings, one of the highest by a single vendor. The first product is Silicon Root of Trust, something that we've been talking about in depth earlier. And the second one is what we call the Aruba Policy Enforcement Firewall and Aruba ClearPass. These two are software-based tools, right? They are part of our network family. And the other great point is that HPE is the only server hardware vendor who made it into this list, right? I'm not going to name our competitors, but you know who they are. None of them made it into that list. But the Silicon Root of Trust is in that list, and it's being highly recommended. One of the highly, probably I would say, recommended products in that list. And just before I close, right, I'd say the cybersecurity insurance industry today is the fastest growing insurance segment, and it's worth about $150 billion annually. So that's being as part of that recommended list is a great thing.
Wonderful, Bhuvan. Thanks a lot for sharing. Thanks a lot for enlightening us on all the different security measures and layers, the multi-layered approach that HPE has put in place to make sure that firmwares are being protected, the supply chains are being actually monitored and protected. Thanks for all of that sharing, Bhuvan. Have a great day. Stay safe. See you another time. Thank you, guys.
And have a good day.
Thank you, Bhuvan.